Hello and welcome back to the Everything Football channel. Today we'll be discussing who should be the next manager of Manchester United. As I see it, there's two major candidates for the role, one being current interim manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and the second one being Tottenham boss Mauricio Pochettino. Let's start off by taking a look at current interim manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's currently been in charge of 12 Manchester United games, picking up 10 victories, 1 draw and 1 loss against Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League earlier on this week. Solskjaer's picked up 2.58 points per matches, which is incredibly high over his time at United. When Solskjaer came into the job after Jose Mourinho got fired, United were actually 11 points off the top 4. And now, in fact, they are in the top 4 and 1 point clear of Arsenal and Chelsea. So it's a dramatic turnaround under Solskjaer. And I think Solskjaer might not be the biggest reputational manager. He might not be like one of the most world-class managers in the world. But something Solskjaer has done is he's allowed vital players such as Paul Pogba, Anthony Martial, Marcus Rashford to play freely, to play attacking football, which they weren't able to do under Jose Mourinho, and this has allowed them to exceed and go beyond what anyone thought they were going to do at the start of the season with Mourinho, especially Paul Pogba, who's become a key leader in the United dressing room and on the pitch. He's been absolutely incredible. Another thing that Solskjaer's done is, instead of this defensive football that we were seeing under Jose Mourinho, which wasn't really working, he's brought back a more traditional attacking Man United philosophy, which I think, again, has really helped in reuniting the fans back behind Manchester United and back behind the manager again. And Solskjaer being a club legend also helps. Just everything around the club has become a lot more positive since Solskjaer took over. On the other hand, however, we have a tried and tested Premier League manager, Mauricio Pochettino, who's been manager of Southampton and Spurs in the Premier League. At Spurs, he's taken charge of 258 matches, winning 149, picking up 52 draws and 57 losses. And he's picked up around about 1.93 points per match, which over that much time, over 258 matches, is a brilliant ratio to be at. Poch has helped to breed through young talents such as Harry Kane. He's brought through Dele Alli and a lot of other talented youth players at Spurs, and I think that's something that would go down really well in United with some of their young players. And looking in the first team, you have players such as Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial, and looking in the youth, you have players such as Mason Greenwood, Heat Chong, Angel Gomez, who all look like they could have bright futures as the club, and I think that would go down really well. As well as that, Mauricio Pochettino has brought through defensive players such as Toby Alderweireld, Jan Vertonghen, Davinson Sanchez, who have all had a brilliant effect at Tottenham. And I think this defensive coaching, which obviously Pochettino can do, as he's made a world-class defence at Tottenham, if he can bring that over to United, if he got the job, it'd be something really good, as United's defence currently is shaky and not great. But if Pochettino can coach that defence up, it's something that could really help United to challenge for the title. I think there's one main concern about Pochettino, which I would have, which would be how much money it's going to take you to get him out of Tottenham. Pochettino recently signed a new deal at Tottenham, which is going to keep him at the club for a longer time. And I think this is going to be a big issue for Manchester United. This week we found out that United had to pay £20 million to sack Mourinho, which is a very high amount. And to get Poch out of Tottenham with a chairman such as Daniel Levy, to negotiate him to be able to come to United, it's going to cost a lot of money, and I have a feeling it could cost anywhere upwards of 40 million, which to get a manager, it's not great, especially when that's going to eat out of your transfer budget. And right now I think United need to focus on bringing in some new players, bringing in new defenders, bringing in another attacker, bringing in another midfielder to help bolster that squad and lift it towards being able to challenge for the title again, maybe in a couple of seasons. And having to spend, say, 50 million on Pochettino it'd be a challenge for United, and it'd mean they had less money to spend, which the fans undoubtedly they'd be happy that they got Pochettino. But at the same time, if you don't get many transfers, if you don't get many high caliber transfers as United expect, it's not going to make the fans very happy. And this is overall why I think that Solskjaer would be the better appointment for United. I think he's going to continue through with this United philosophy, which is making the fans very happy. And it means that there should theoretically be more money to spend in the transfer window, which is something which is very good. Pochettino would be a great manager. He's a world-class manager, but I think right now with him having signed this contract and with him, obviously it's going to cost a lot of money to get him out of Tottenham, and I think that's just a negative for United right now. However, I think right now we're going into a key stage, or what I think might have been a key stage had two injuries not taken place. In the next few weeks he's going to face Chelsea in the FA Cup, Liverpool in the league, the second leg against PSG and Arsenal, and these are all key fixtures to see whether Solskjaer can pull through. I believe that in some of the games he will struggle, and in some of the games he may succeed. I think against Liverpool and Paris Saint-Germain, they are going to lose simply because of the injuries to Martial and Lingard, which are obviously going to have an effect on the team as a whole, as it gets rid of pace in the wings. But so far, the signs for Solskjaer have been very positive, and I think it's something that every United fan can look forward to. In my opinion, what I would do if I was the United board, I would look at hiring Solskjaer on either a 1 or 2 year deal, so that in case it doesn't work out, you aren't stuck paying the 20 million you paid to sack Jose. I think that's something very important, and I believe they should just go and say to Solskjaer, look, we're going to give you a full season, we're going to judge how you do in that full season, we'll give you the 2 transfer windows, we'll let you spend some money. If you do well, if you get, say, into the Champions League again, a bit close to the title, and a bit further in the Champions League, then yeah, we'll give you the job. If not, then we'll go and look somewhere else. If we struggle, we'll go look somewhere else, and it won't cost us as much money to sack you, meaning that it's a bit better for the club as a whole. So I think that would be a very sensible thing to do in United's shoe right now. Instead of going and spending, say, 50 million on Poch and bringing him in, and then for some reason something not working out, and then being unable to sack Pochettino because of the monetary expenses that it would cost, I think it's a much safer move to go for Solskjaer at this point. Another option would be Zidane, but I think at this point United shouldn't go for Zidane, because I believe what needs to happen now is a rebuilding job at United. United need probably another midfielder, another right winger, I'd say, and just some more backup that's decent, and of course another centre-back. And I feel with Zidane, he's more of a man motivator instead of a person who can guide a club forward. He's left Madrid after the third Champions League, and I think he left Madrid at the perfect time where they were about to go into a place where they needed to be severely rebuilt, and obviously he didn't want to go through that stage, meaning that I don't think he's the right person right now for United to come in and steer them through this rebuild, which they are going to be going through. Maybe in the future, eventually, Zidane can come in and help them, but not right now. I feel like either Solskjaer, in particular Solskjaer, and Pochettino would be a much better fit for United going through this rebuild. I think, just especially Solskjaer. He's got the fans reunited. He's got the players playing really well again. He's brought back the old United way. Everything is just positive around the club, and that's why I just think that Solskjaer would be the best managerial appointment that United could make right now. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to like, subscribe and share the video, and be sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, and tune in for next week's video. Thanks for watching. Bye.